Hello and welcome to Pizzabento. I'm one of your hosts, Nikki from Seattle, Washington.
And I'm one of your other hosts, Danson from Tokyo, Japan.
Hey, you know what scares me the most during Halloween?
I don't know. Vampires?
No, not the vampires or the werewolves or the zombies. It's the mummies.
The mummies. Wow, what a coincidence! That's what we're going to talk about today. Mummification!
Oh. So what spurred on your interest in bringing up this topic, sir?
Well, one of the things that was a friend asking, like, when you go, how do you want to go? Like being incinerated? What the heck? What do they call that?
Cremated.
Burned? Cremated, yes. Oh my god.
Burned, barbecued,
Yeah.
sauteed with a little bit of butter.
Yeah. But cremated is quite popular over here in Japan. It's quite a popular way to go. But there's many other ways if you think about ways to go. Like, in the Northwest, traditionally Native American people would put people in, like, slings or canoes and put it up in trees. And stuff like that.
Okay.
And there's many different ways to go. Like, you can also bury like they do in most parts of America and lots of other things, too. And so, like,
What is your personal preference?
What?
What is your personal preference?
That's a good question. I really haven't actually decided, but probably I would request if I was, had a will or something, to have some genetic extraction and then cremation.
Okay, what do you want to...
Genetic extraction is for the future generations, like if they're curious, like, hey, did granddad have such and such gene or something like that? Like.
Oh, okay. So put it in a bank somewhere? Not because you want to be reanimated or anything, but so that they could, like, hey...
Well, hell, if they want to reanimate me, no problem. But, like, no, I meant just more for history, searching and stuff. Because if I could have access to the genetic information from previous histories, that'd be so sweet and tight and stuff. But we don't. But, yeah, I think that... Yeah, and you wouldn't even have to put it in a bank somewhere. All you have to do for genetic extraction is to put something in a container. And
so your future generation is like going around in the attic and they find a bottle full of white liquid. I'm like, what's this? Oh, that's great Grandpa Danson's man juice.
Man juice! No comment.
Why is it green? Well, he was an odd one.
He was not one. Green!
So, I'm sorry, back to mummification.
Right, mummification, not man juice. Right. Mummification, that's one of the ways to go, and I find it very fascinating that, like people would actually... It's fairly common with the ancient cultures to be mummified.
But it's sort of a strange thing because they don't exactly 100% preserve everything. I mean,
They do, but they don't preserve it all in the body. They take out, like, the heart and whatnot and put it in separate containers.
Right, but, I mean, like, the features aren't completely 100% preserved.
How so?
The person doesn't look like the person.
How do you know? Have you ever seen a living...
Well, I've seen some mummies that have hair, and it's like, all the archaeologists are freaking out. It's like, oh, it has hair, it's so lifelike. And it has fingernails, but then the face is just skeletal.
It's 2,000 frickin' years old, man. Besides, the ones you're talking about are the accidental mummies.
What's that?
You're talking about the accidental mummies that were, like, frozen in ice and whatnot.
Right, but the real mummies, they don't look lifelike. Not like Lenin.
Have you ever seen a
That's embalming, right?
Entombed mummy?
No, Lenin was embalmed, right?
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So wouldn't you think that's a better deal to go?
I don't know. I don't know if I would want to be, like, embalmed so people could, like, look at my visage forever. Wasn't, like, Mao also embalmed?
No, I don't know. I've seen pictures of Lenin laying stateside. Is it stateside? I don't know what they call it. In state? But I've never seen Mao Zedong.
Yeah, they don't let you take pictures.
Oh, okay. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I don't know. Would you want to be, like, stuffed and put in a glass case?
No, because then I would just be a freak of nature. No one would think of me as an individual, only the creepy guy who's in a museum that people can look at me and take photos. That would be
But with Mao and Lenin, well,
they're important people. I'm a nobody.
Yeah, so I guess, but I don't think you're a nobody.
Well, there's a story of this, like, I don't know who it was. Someone whose husband died or the wife died. I think it was the husband died. And then they had it embalmed or mummified and put on a coffee table. But it's...
Don't you love this coffee? Oh my God!
Yeah. It would be like, well, I have no need for coffee books, coffee table books, because I've got the perfect topic right here.
They waxed his hand and put his hand up in the air so you could set your coffee down on his hand.
Oh, that's just wrong. It's just like, do you have any coasters? No, just use my husband's hand.
Here, use the hand. Ooh, yeah. Moving on. How about you? How would you want to go? Buried, burned?
This is turning less and less about mummification.
Well, do you want to be mummified?
No, I don't. Because that's a freaky thing. It's not... Well, it's
do you know why they mummified him, though? That's kind of fascinating.
Well, it's not like embalming where it's like, oh, it's lifelike, and it's not like, oh, this is skeletons.
Do you know why they mummified him, though?
What? How? Why?
They were sending their body to the afterlife.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just to preserve the body so that people
could go to the afterlife. They were sending their body to the next world. So they wanted their body to look nice in the next world.
So
the pyramids were their vessel to the next world.
Mummification is done by chemicals, and it's also done by temperature, right?
Natural mummification is done by temperature and other environmental conditions, like Egyptian mummification is chemicals.
Okay.
And they put so much effort into the preservation of these bodies that they never really imagined that they would look at again. So it's really quite fascinating.
Yeah. And that's only done for royalty.
Yeah, royalty and stuff like that, like kings, queens, and princes.
Now in Pompeii, where you have the ashes form cast, that's not mummification, right? That's a different deal.
No, but it's similar. It's like preserved bodies, but the ashes just sort of were caked in different layers or whatever.
So maybe you do know about this. So when the Egyptian pharaohs got mummified, did they have bandages around them? Or is that just like a horror movie myth?
Not quite bandages, but they were wrapped.
Okay.
Because that was part of the preservation technique and stuff. They were wrapped, but the whole horror film thing of a body-shaped bandage wielding is a horror film thing.
Well, you know what? I think my father-in-law has it the best way, because he was cremated.
Mm-hmm.
Was he cremated? Yeah, he was cremated, and then he requested that his ashes be spread on Mount Rainier. So now, actually, when we're driving, my wife would say, "Oh, let's wave hello to Grandpa Webster," and then they'll wave, and that's perfect.
That is pretty cool, I guess. I don't know though. I do think that some sort of genetic information should be preserved, and if possible, I'm gonna upload my brain to the internet. But I don't know if the technology is gonna be there when it's time for me to do that.
That would be not a good idea, I think.
No.
So if you want to look at Danson's genetic material online, go to pizzabento@gmail. Oh my god, I can't do this today. pizzabento.com.
You said it so newbie there, go to or email us at pizzabento@gmail.com.
Danson's Brain will soon be available through Google Apps.
Yeah, only $9.95.
It's Google, it's free.
Yeah, oh, whoops. Free!
AdWords.